Hi, I'm Romi.
And I'm Nicole. Welcome to the Her Pursuit Pod, where we share our journey of building our business, The Daily Drip, a dynamic media platform that provides content and community for more than 4,000 South Florida female CEOs, founders, business owners, executives, and professionals.
Whether it's through our newsletter, events, or this podcast, our hope is to inspire your next big move and arm you with the tools you need to crush it. So tune in on your drive to work, wind down with us after a long day as we share our journey and the journeys of other remarkable business leaders on Her Pursuit.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Her Pursuit. My name's Nicole. I'm co-founder of The Daily Drip, and I am with my partner in crime, Miss Romi Wallach, and we're joined today by our very special preferred vendor, Afuri Aesthetics. We brought the team over here to have a special episode where we can talk all things life and lips, apparently. Afuri Aesthetics is a beautiful spa that's located in Sunrise, Florida, right by Sawgrass Mills Mall. So if you're in the South Florida area and you're listening, it's a beautiful facility. And Afuri Aesthetics has been such a great partner to the Daily Drip and our entire community, offering all kinds of perks and incentives that you only get if you're part of the Daily Drip. But so many of us have been going in and getting to work with the team and learning so much about our skin, about the treatments, what's trending, things to explore and try for those things that have been bothering you for so long. And we thought, why not get them over here onto the podcast where we can help our audience at large learn a little bit more about aesthetics, skincare, wellness, all the things, and get some of the burning questions asked. So I am joined here by Dr. Spence and his wife, Rachelle, who's also one of our Daily Drip thought leaders. And welcome onto Her Pursuit Pod. How does it feel to be here?
It feels so formal, so like, okay, I'm on a podcast.
Great to be here. Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit, we'll start with you, Dr. Spence. Tell us a little bit about your career journey and what's brought you to Afuri.
Sure, no problem. Rachelle and I, we've had sort of a great experience with the space of aesthetics. We're very interested in people feeling comfortable in their skin. My background is I'm an emergency medicine physician by trade, and I decided to get trained in aesthetics in order to provide some of that service. Rachelle and I has always been interested in looking our best as we get younger. So we decided to dive in a bit, and we love it. We love it here, as they would say.
Love that. And Rachelle, tell us a little bit about your background and your story.
Well, my background, I am a social worker by trade, so I've been working by years in the medical field. And I also became a certified professional coach through the years as well. And so to the life and wellness component of things, we felt that, you know what, why not join both of our expertise and actually provide a service that benefits our community, not only the outer part of them, but also the other part of them as well. So this is where Afuri Aesthetic comes in.
I love that. I love that you guys join forces. How does it feel working together with your husband, with your wife? How is that? I gotta know.
It's an absolute adventure.
I think it came at the right time because we were at the time preparing to become empty nesters, and so it was a good project to start in, even though we enjoy, obviously we have such an interest in it, but also to go out on our own to do it. So it was the right timing. And, so now both of our kids are in college, so we tend to spend more time together.
Which is kind of interesting because the empty nester phase is like, are we staying together or is this where we part ways? And you guys like doubled down on the together
I love
piece.
it. You became empty nesters and you had another baby. You
Yeah.
got Afuri.
Yeah. So it's actually is great. I didn't realize how much I would have enjoyed the entrepreneurship component of it. So we've been really enjoying that piece together. Of course, it's really hard at times to keep the work outside and not bring, so creating. So I'm actually walking my talk, and like the whole well-being piece. It's like, okay, how do we separate the two? When we're done, and we have time for ourselves, and then not bring work at home and create that space for each other. But we've been creating that balance, that alignment.
I love that. Now, I'm just curious, what what led to this love, this curiosity, this fascination with aesthetics and wellness and the types of services that you offer? Was there something that sparked it?
Well, I mean, it was more our community. We just realized that from an aspect of really wellness and taking care of yourself as you were getting younger, this became of interest, and we realized that there are a lot of individuals that don't realize that there are a lot of simple things that you can do. You can kind of sort of embrace your uniqueness, and you can get educated, but we wanted to be individuals that be able to provide the down-to-earth conversation to be able to help people to get to where they wanted to be.
And I think also us being in the stage we are in terms of our age, I think that certain things becomes more real. You know? You look at you can't run from it. You look at yourself in the mirror, you're like, whoa, where did that go? Was that there yesterday or they just showed up?
Every day's a surprise.
Right. So you kind of realize, oh my God, okay, if you were not a person that actually engaged in that like routine type of like skincare, where do I start? Right. And so us realizing that there was an important piece to that. And of course, our kids help as well because it's a different generation. They're more into it than we ever were.
Oh my God,
so it's kind of like, oh my gosh, okay, what are you using? Or, I thought what I was using was great, but now obviously there's so many different products out there now. So you connect with that generation and realize, okay, there's more to this than what we are doing, and we need to do more. And we also had friends that were like, guys, you really need to, they pushed us also, recognizing they needed it. Right? Recognizing that they needed it, it's say, hey, you should definitely look into that to that line of work. But then our interest, it's one thing to say to look into it and not have an interest. Right? So the interest was there because we've always been about ourselves, taking care of ourselves. We love fashion. We like a lot of different things. We like to go out. We like to party, like all of the above. So looking good was always part of the process for us, right? So that's something that we always knew we had to do at some point. Now, I've always been a natural person, and I'm still a natural person. So the idea of getting to aesthetic is kind of like, you know what I mean? But I've learned that, through the training, there's more to aesthetic than just assuming that it has to do with injections and stuff that we're otherwise are not comfortable doing. It really starts from the basic of just having a regular routine.
I think. Oh, sorry. I was going to say what I loved about coming to your spa, and I got my facial, which was literally just the best thing ever. But in that time, I spent a lot of time talking to the two of you. And what I appreciated was just how you talked about the services, how you kind of like, I came in and I was like kind of freaked out about different types of things that I've seen. But the way you approach the aesthetics from more of a wellness and like a longevity rather than just cosmetic. And I think that's where it kind of gets funky for someone like me, because I'm like you, I'm definitely more natural. This is like more makeup than I would typically even wear. And so I got up one day and it's like, oh my God. And I was 40 and I'm like, I can't wake up in the morning and remove my makeup like this anymore. Like I have to start doing something. And I felt like the time and patience and knowledge and things that I've learned just from conversations and has been like super helpful as I try and navigate this space and understanding what can be done without doing things that are super invasive, or how to, you were like, just start with this. Like your approach was not, you should do, and then gave me a list of like 8 million things and services and I need to come in 5 days a week. It was like, just start with this, Romi. Start doing these kinds of things. And this is how we're going to help support you. Like, to me, that separates you from a lot of the other people out there that are kind of just, throwing out like, you can look 10 years younger. I'm never going to look 10 years younger. I'm going to look the best version that I can at this age. That's my goal. And I feel like that's what you guys speak to.
Well, thank you for that. I mean, I would tell you that for us, we've always believed in sort of conversational approach and down-to-earth kind of conversations about how do I look my best? How do I feel my best? And these are the same questions we asked ourselves. So that's great that we were able to connect.
And I think that's really interesting how you bring up like the generational difference. And I think that speaks to the trends too, because we see a lot of trend in this like natural beauty sort of movement. You see 13-year-olds at Sephora, doubling down on skincare. Like, I didn't get into skincare until five years ago, 10 years ago, and it's like, I think you brought up a good point that there's more to it than injections.
Yeah. And I think that to piggyback a little bit, our approach is based on our values. We show up the way we service the way we show up. So the authenticity of who we are is really what you experience when you actually come to see us. We never actually bring something forward that we'll never do for ourselves or actually share with our loved ones. Right. So our approach is like, once you step foot to our med spa, you become part of our family, and we want to treat you and provide the best care and treatment and plan for you as if it was one of us. So I think that's part of why the experience you've had. And it related to what you just mentioned, it's yes. So there's so many things to learn. So education is key for us as well. So we like to educate. Receive a lot of phone calls. I have one phone call that I've received. It was like, "Oh, can I come in? I want to do that. You guys do that like hydration thing, don't you? Do you do it?" And it was just like, "Huh? Like, you guys do that thing?" And I was like, "When was the last time, or have you ever had a facial?" Right. Well, I think I had it like 5 years. I said, "Okay, why don't you just come in? Let's have a conversation. Let's educate you a little bit more to what's possible, and then we could create a plan that best suits you. You may not need that Hydra thing you think you need. You may need something else, or you may just be that. But have a conversation first, and that's the way. So education for us is really important.
Education.
The more you know, the more.
So I think you said something really important about trends, and what has happened is there's been a shift in the beauty industry when it comes to taking care of yourself, or self-care is not a luxury anymore. It's more of a priority. So you find there's a lot of individuals, including ourselves, that are now saying, well, how do I prioritize that, right? Because how you look totally determines how you feel, right? And how you show up day to day.
Good, feel good, play good. I tell
Absolutely.
Sebastian that every single day.
And there's a whole different change or in the focus of we're not chasing youth anymore, right? Is again, embracing our own uniqueness, doing those subtle tweaks that kind of make those changes to make us feel happy. And so that is a huge shift in comparison to 30 years ago, which is great. And we're happy to be here for it all.
How do you see that translate in the offerings? Like some of the new services that are available? Like I feel like now, I remember it was like all about Botox, and that would be the thing you would see and associate the second you heard med spa, right? Now I feel like it's laser facials. I feel like I see, and I remember when I first came to you guys about this, and I was like, okay, I'm curious. What's involved? Does it hurt? How often do I was like, what is this? Because now that's the thing. I think the facial has morphed. There's like 87 million kinds of facials you can get now. And it's all about this, like, the treatment of your skin is like what I think I see that I'm being marketed now. And so do you see that now in like the different types of availabilities that come on the market, and how does that play into what you curate for your menu?
Sure. I mean, this is just similar to what's happening to most even different industries, right? Changing technology, right? So essentially things have come along, things have been invented. So these laser facials are great. We've got better lasers now. We're able to do really subtle and great work to the resurfacing of skin. We can stimulate collagen. We definitely do laser facials at Afuri Aesthetics. There are also other things that are out there as well, things such as platelet-rich plasma. We've kind of found out or been able to kind of sort of separate your plasma in order to stimulate collagen and use it. Whereas 30 years ago, that was not easily accessible, right? And so it's a matter of all these new modalities that are out there are really development in this space, which is great for people that are looking for these new techniques to improve their look, their feel, and their performance out there.
I think what I love too about the experience I had already and look forward to in the future is how you meet people where they're at. Like I came in with, some apprehension, a little freaked out, and you were like, slow down. You don't have to do all those things. Like, what are you looking for? Like you really take the time to listen to what people are saying, because I've been in places where they just start firing like, well, if you just start inject, and you walk out and you're like, I don't even know what happened. Like, and I don't want to do any of it. Whereas you really listen to what people are saying, you're really paying attention and then thinking, okay, let's ease you into it in a way that you feel comfortable and just start by doing this, and so you don't leap to like, well, I can make you do that, look like this, and jump into some intensive program. Like the listening, I think, is what's so critical and really differentiates you guys from the kind of service that you provide.
I mean, compassion is key, right? And we are definitely heart-centered in our personal lives and as we show up in everything else we do. And I think that that's really one thing we wanted to make sure no matter what comes through. I mean, we could be just like any other business. We are a business. However, money will come based on how you serve, how you show up, how you provide service, how you could interact with your client or your potential client. So that for me is primal. It's just the first thing you need to show up as, and then everything else falls. So it's how you serve others, how you care, how you listen, and the compassion behind it that actually leads to better service and better clients to come back. They have to feel like, okay, you heard me, you believe, and I trust you, because that's how you build trust, right? Because I could upsell you.
That's my point, is that
And
that
the
was
idea
not the
isn't for
experience.
that. And that's not who we are. I'm not that person as a coach. I'm certainly not that person. This is not who we are. We want to make sure that it's the journey, it's an experience for you, and it's something that you take with you along the way, and that we actually see a difference, not only within your outer beauty, but also within you, because it's really promoting that self-confidence within. And when you come out of our space, you're like, I feel confident. And I want to go back, and I also want more. Why? Because how I feel when I'm there is equally as important as when I come out.
And I think that you just hit the nail on the head. And I think that is what makes Afuri Aesthetics feel so comfortable is, there's this kind of like mindset now, I think you're right, where self-care is now a priority. And it's like people come to you ready for that investment. I'm investing in me. There's such a mindset shift that happens when somebody gets to that point and they say, you know what, I'm worth it. Not to like use another tagline here, but I'm worth it and I'm ready to make this a priority. And I think you guys meet them there saying, we're happy you're here. We're happy you've come to this moment and are ready to make this investment in you, and you chose us. So let's help you get started. What's this going to look like?
And interesting, that's how we brand our services, right? So we have the Rediscover You, because this is a person that wants to rediscover who they are and needs to be walked through the process. And then you have the process of becoming more, and then realize that you're worth it at the end for anything else that comes after that. So as you said that's really much how it's branded.
And so for anyone listening, Afuri Aesthetics offers, a full range of services, not only just from skincare, but medical weight loss treatment and everything in between. There's so much there, and everything is curated. And I think, what's been the greatest thing is to see not only all the treatments that you guys have offered to kind of meet the market where it is and meet the consumer where they're at, but also they have an amazing facial of the month club that I'm a fan of. I'm a big fan of that because I think nothing really says that you're meeting people where they are when they're ready to invest in themselves and their self-care by literally creating the program for them to get started and start, taking care of themselves. And I think that's how your relationships get formed. You're seeing them every month, right? And then you're building off of a foundation. So many great things at Afuri Aesthetics. If you are thinking about starting your journey, or maybe you're at a different juncture along the way, you definitely have to check out Dr. Spence and Rachelle and their team at Afuri Aesthetics and learn more about how their unique approach to the aesthetics world really can help you feel your best, love the skin you're in, and support you on your journey. And if you're a Daily Drip member, you get all kinds of perks. You get all kinds of goodies. And so definitely become a Daily Drip member so you can access all of those things. They really make it easy to try and experiment and get in there, and that's my favorite thing. And so thank you both for joining us on this episode and sharing your journey and how Afuri Aesthetics came to be and all that you guys do to serve the community and help them meet their self-care goals.
Thanks for having us.
Sounds great. Absolutely. Let's help you take the fear out of finding your beauty.
Oh, I love that. That's better than you're
I
worth
like
it.
that. Yeah.
That's better than that.
Speaks to me. I came in terrified, so I'm here for it. That's good.
All right, everybody. We'll see you on another episode of Her Pursuit.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Her Pursuit.
You can listen to new episodes every other Wednesday on Spotify or watch us on YouTube. Stay in the loop on all our virtual and in-person events, read our latest articles, and catch new episodes by subscribing to our free weekly newsletter.
Check out the episode notes for more details, and we'll see you here on our next episode of Her Pursuit.